Welcome to 2025. That's all I got. I don't know how I want to start this. Hello, and welcome to 2025. This is going to be maybe one of the more challenging years that I've ever had, and I'm doing it all to myself. Come along and watch me either succeed or fail, or do a little bit of both. In an effort to kind of streamline my life and expand my creative brain, I am using 2025 as a year to really get my stuff together. This is either going to be an eye-opening, life-changing experience or a complete failure. This is going to surprise some of you, and if you're new here, it will maybe show you what kind of a maker that I am, but I have too much stuff, both in my creative life and in my life. I have too many things. I need to get this under control. So I am officially announcing the start of the No Buy 25 challenge, and everyone is invited to join me. Now, if you are watching this later in 2025, jump in whenever you want. Change the rules whenever you want. This is for me, and I think the videos are probably going to be more of a way of keeping myself accountable, if anything else. But if anybody else finds themselves in a position where you are just drowning in stuff, maybe this will work for you as well. So before I get to the rules, let me kind of talk about why I'm doing this. Number one, making things and collecting things to make other things are two completely different hobbies. I am really good at the collecting things to make other things with those things, and I need to focus more on the making things side. Number two, I am trying to train my brain to stop chasing dopamine, or at least instant fixes of dopamine. And I get that from thrifting. There is something about finding things that I go, ooh, I can make this other thing that just scratches deep itches inside my brain. So I'm officially cutting my brain off from its dopamine dealer. I'm looking at you, Goodwill. Number three, I really need to use the stuff that I already have. And I mean really need to use the things that I have. I have collected great stuff. I have amazing things in here, but I need to use them because I'm running out of space. No, I have already run out of space. And number four, my workshop has so much potential to be an amazing, productive space. But with all the things that I have in it, it is really hard to capitalize on that productive space because I'm drowning in things. Side note, I have already started this particular process of maximizing the production space in my workshop, but it's going to be an ongoing adventure, if you will. So let's talk about the rules for this. And for this, I have created a little visual aid for myself, and maybe for you guys, I don't know. I don't have a cool chalkboard. My pegboard is just gonna have to suffice. This is my No Buy 25 trademark challenge. This setup is actually not gonna work for me. Hold on. We're still a little low. Hold on. Garbage. How about you guys just come over here? Let's try this and see if it works any better. Number one, all of our projects must be made with things that we have on hand. We cannot go out and buy new supplies every time we have a project. This one is so practically good, but it makes me so sad on the inside. It's necessary though. That sadness will go away. Number two, any clothing that I might want must be me made. I am giving myself an allowance for socks, shoes, underwear, sweaters, because I don't knit, I don't make shoes yet. That might be something I try this year. Any other clothing that I might want, I'm gonna have to make it myself. Oh God. I will fix this to make it look neater later. Number three, no thrifting or shopping for new craft supplies or decor items. This one's gonna be hard for me. You wanna take any guesses how long it'll take before I break this rule? You can put those in the comments. It'll be good for me though. It'll be good for us as a collective. Number four, trading and donations are fine. However, I cannot go out and solicit for these things. If people show up and they hand me a bag of fabric, great. If they don't, I'm not gonna ask for it. We can do this, but we just can't initiate it. How are we feeling so far? Feeling pretty good? Are we anxious? We're gonna be fine. We can do this. Number five, we have to make monthly donations of something. I think this will force us to clean stuff out. We'll get to the end of the month and go, haven't donated anything yet, and I'm gonna have to talk about it. We have to make monthly donations. Rule number 6, which is kind of a sub rule to rule number 5. We have to call out any unused items or anything that we don't have plans for. This includes clothing, shoes, bedding, whatever. We have to get rid of it this year. And it may take us a year to figure out if we need it or not, but we're going to cull stuff out. Number 7, we are going to do a monthly review of how we're doing. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And we're going to celebrate the good things, and we're going to learn from the bad things. And we probably shouldn't say bad. We're going to learn from the difficult things. We are also going to give ourselves the option to update the rules as needed, because we're people trying to figure this out like everybody else. So we're going to give ourselves the option to update the rules as needed. And finally, probably the most important rule of all of them, we are going to be kind to ourselves. We are going to fail at some point, and we're going to reflect on those backslides. Then we're going to start it again and keep going. We are going to be kind to ourselves. So there are our 8 rules to the No Buy 25 challenge. If you want to join me on this challenge, feel free to change any of these rules or get rid of any of them. It's entirely up to you. I want this to work for anybody and everybody, but these are the rules that are going to work for me and my brain and my specific habits. Let's go back up to the table because it's cold down here and talk about how we're going to check in, review, as well as some rule exception. Welcome back to standing. The blood can get to my feet now. Let's talk about some of the exceptions I'm making for myself for this year. First one, I can buy materials to make things as long as I'm selling those things. Not preemptively. I have to use what I have and make things. But if the things that I make sell, I can buy the materials to make them again. Hope that makes sense. Exception number 2 for me. I can buy organizational things. However, I must have a specific plan for those things. If I needed more pegs for my pegboard, I can buy those, but I have to know how I'm going to use them. I don't want to just go out and buy new pegs thinking that I might need them. I have to have a specific plan for how I'm going to use those. And then number 3 for me, I can spend money on market fees. I am going to continue trying craft markets and craft fairs. I have a few in mind for 2025 already. So I can spend the money on table fees or whatever I need to do to get into those markets. However, the things that I offer for sale at those markets have to be made with what I have on hand. I feel pretty good about that, I think. Now, I don't want 2025 to feel like a big giant punishment year because for me to follow all of these rules can maybe lead to some anxious thoughts and feelings because there's nothing to balance it out. So I'm going to do sub-challenges for me and anybody else that wants to participate here on the channel. And guess what? I already have those sub-challenges figured out. If you would like to participate in any part of the No Buy 25 challenge or any of the sub-challenges, all of the details can be found over on my Ko-fi page. And all of those details are going to be open to anybody. You don't have to be a supporter to get access to those. However, if you would like to support me and this channel and whatever else, you can become a maker over on my Ko-fi page for $2 a month. Over there, I offer my makers first dibs at any of the found fabrics or sewing supplies that I come across while I'm out shopping and thrifting. Now, you might be saying, but Katie, you're not going to be shopping or thrifting this year. How are we going to get our money's worth out of that? Well, I'm also going to be doing quite a bit of cleaning this year, and I have so much stuff to clean out. And I think as I go through these challenges, I'm going to have even more stuff because I'm going to know I don't want things or I do want things. So being a maker over there for $2 a month means that you will have first access at any of the things that I find while I'm cleaning out and I put over there. Eventually, they will become open to everybody. So you just be patient if you don't want to become a maker. Everybody who is a maker, thank you so much for your support. I love all of you. I am overwhelmed by the amount of people that are over there now. So thank you for that. And if you don't want to become a maker, everything else stays the same. You'll have access to all of the information for these challenges and a place to talk about how you're doing and how we're doing and support each other over there. So that's going to be it for this time. Happy New Year. I am so excited for 2025. I am excited to challenge myself and maybe have a group of folks that want to be a part of that. I am super excited for these upcoming challenges. Some of these things I've never done before and trying to expand my maker brain. I think it's going to be wicked fun. If you want to get started on the first sub-challenge of 2025, in January, we are going to finish at least one unfinished project. Find those UFOs and let's see what we can get done in January. All the other monthly challenges will be up there for your information. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe so that you're here for all of the updates. You can even turn on notifications when I post a new video. That way you know when reviews or new challenges are coming up. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. I mentioned that I have already started on reorganization and updating the productivity of my workshop. You want to see what I've already done? Because I'm actually kind of excited about it. Take a look at this. The first big thing is that I have put in my big, giant sewing table, which I'm really excited about. So I had these filing cabinets for a while. I got them at an auction, but they're a great height. I just put a solid door on top of them because it was big enough, and now I have this gigantic sewing table. I need to sand down the edges, and I'd like to maybe increase this so I could put a cup for pins or clamps or something right there. And once I'm sure this is where I want it to live, I will sticky down to the top of these guys. But I'm not sure this is where I want it to live just yet. This is still a work in progress, as is everything else, but I really want a comfortable seating area. So right now this is just where the chair fits, and it's pretty cozy over here, but it's got a bunch of shit around it that still needs to be cleaned up. So I'm working on that part, but I like it. I just would have to move it to get in and out of my double doors over there. I moved all of my blankets and pillowcases, towels, sheets, tablecloths over here so that the space under my sewing machine could be freed up for totes. I'm one of those people that if it's not in front of my face, I will forget that it exists. So having them out in the open like this is really super helpful. And I did give away a lot of things, so I have one of these things that are open now. I'm really excited about that. I don't know what I'm going to put in it, and it can't live here, but there's progress already. On Facebook Marketplace, found a company that was selling these bolts of canvas. This is like 12-ounce duck canvas because they were making cornhole bags, and then they didn't do that anymore. So I got these big giant rolls of canvas for $80 a piece, I think, and just hung them on the walls with the little bike rack things. I'm still nervous that they are going to fall out of the walls and take all the studs with them, but that's for later Katie to worry about, not today Katie. Along with my giant sewing table, I also have an ironing space now that has all my empty totes under it. Under my sewing machine, my totes, I do have them labeled. So this isn't all of my fabric, but I tried to at least sort it by color. We've got large scraps in here and here. And then under here we have some extra cording and like quilt kits that I've found while I'm thrifting. The quilt kits should be available on Coffee if you wanted to buy those. And the cording will be up there soon. This is my serger table. It still needs to be organized and cleaned off, but I'm trying to do everything intentionally and not just shove things into drawers. So work in progress. My laser table, work in progress. And my leather workbench, work in progress. So there's my space as of December 31st, 2024. Maybe December 31st of 2025, we'll do another one of these and see what's different. Until next time, bye.